Hi, my name is Kinga and this is Press Boss, the place that offers you tools and frameworks to help you manage your career. Two of my close friends recently started new jobs and it got us thinking how exciting but also how stressful a time of starting a new job can be. And so I wanted to put together a guide, honestly, a guide that I wish I've gotten when I was starting all my previous jobs, and a guide that would help you start a new job. This guide will be short and simple so that even if you're an intern, you can follow along. This guide will be applicable to various roles and industries, whether you're working in tech, in consulting, in marketing, in finance. We got you covered. And most importantly, this guide will help you see results right from the start. So stay with me. So you got the job. Maybe it's your dream job, maybe it's just a job, but what to do next? What to do in the next days, weeks, and months? I am so passionate about this subject because I know how difficult it is to start a new job. Hear me out. Maybe you're a graduate and you're joining a graduate program, which is great. You're probably going to get a lot of training regarding company structure, culture, and product. Still, no one tells you how to work effectively with your manager or with your stakeholders. And you don't know what questions to ask because you've never done this before. Maybe you're already an experienced hire. So you've done the job before and now you're moving to a different team or different company. And so the assumption is because you know what to do, you're already good to go. But are you? Every single company, every single team has a different ways of doing the job. How you do the job, what's actually valued. And every single team will have a different stakeholder matrix, especially the unofficial one. And most important, last thing, maybe you're starting a job during COVID, maybe you're working remotely. Here in SF, we are working remotely. And so you cannot really sit next to someone and just shadow them, follow along, see how they're doing the job. Instead, you really have to be thoughtful and cautious when you're asking for someone's time. What questions to ask? How do you make sure that you maximize the learning per minute spent with someone? And this is what we're going to cover in this guide. Every single session will go through a different topic and this will be a hands-on experience, so you'll be following me along. I also recommend that you go through the same questions with your manager, just to understand whether you're on the same page and you see your job, your responsibilities, your stakeholders in the same way. And so without further ado, let's go through the subject for session number 1, which is getting to know your role. Okay, so let's get to know your job. I have 3 questions for today. It might be that you've already asked them during the interview stage. If so, I would just recommend taking a couple of minutes as you are starting your job and going through those questions again with your manager, making sure that you're on the same page. So question 1, what are my key responsibilities? Or how would a week in life look like? And it's not a list of meetings you have to attend, not a list of emails that you'll be getting, not big words, really trying to describe, trying to understand how your week in life would look like. What are your responsibilities? What are you in charge of? What are you doing? That's step 1. 2, how does success look like? The what and the how. And the how will be probably even more important than the what. And you really want to understand how you should behave, what you should be doing on a daily basis to be successful. And then step 3, what makes your teammates or people in your job successful? And this is a great question to go for your manager, just because it will tell you what is the one thing or 2 things or 3 things that are really the most important for them. How do they see a success? And while question 2 can be very often linked to company values, question 3 will really dive into how does your team see the success and what's the most important thing. So let's go through those questions. I'll give you 5 minutes to work through your answers and then I'll share mine. Okay, and we're back, and as I promised, I will share with you my answers. I selected one of my previous jobs in sales operations and I'll dissect it with you. So step 1, what are the key responsibilities? So what I wrote here is setting up sales targets, communicating them, tracking. Setting up sales guidelines, communicating them, tracking. And then covering any questions from sales. Is it from sales reps or from sales managers? Step 2, how does success look like? The what and the how. And so the what I wrote is delivering on time and with high quality, everything we mentioned in step 1. How? Again, how will depend on every single company. So here are my samples. 1, you want to be dependable, meaning that if you say I'll do something, you actually do it on time. 2, you want to be respectful. Very often sales managers or your stakeholders will have way more experience than you do, and so you really want to be open to their suggestions, hear them out, see their perspective. You also want to be collaborative, meaning that you include your key stakeholders in every part of the process. Make sure that they are really on the same page with you. Again, the most important part here is even if you've done the job before, every single company, every single team will have a different how. So you want to make sure that you actually understand how does your current team operate. And then what makes people in your job, in your team successful. And so I wrote here a sample. Let's assume Anna, she includes all the stakeholders along the way so that they really know what's happening. And so there you go. You really know what is the most important thing for your manager. And that's it for today. Next session we'll be covering how to get to know your manager. 4 questions that will help you work effectively from day 1. I've been using those questions for some time now. They've made a huge difference in how I've been working with my managers, actually how I've been working with my stakeholders. So let's go through them. And a question to you, I would love to hear, what are your biggest challenges with starting a new job right now? Bye.